Hi everyone, it's Kevin from my YouTube channel. Welcome back to another video on my channel. Today's video I'll be doing the preview and team talks for our clash against Richmond. If you are watching Kevin Magpies, welcome, like, comment, share if you're new, like, comment, share and subscribe. Now, the way we do this is pretty much simple. I'll just go through the preview with you guys and go through the division on how we can beat Richmond, and then I'll do my tips as well, and therefore I'll do the team talks as well within that. But without further ado, let's get straight into the round 16 preview for the Tigers. Now we're 11th up against Richmond, who are 17th. Now we know that Richmond will not wear a clash kit against us, and we know that's going to be a clash, comparing that they're mainly a black kit with a yellow sash. And they will wear white shorts. We'll wear mainly a black kit with black and white stripes. So that's mainly going to be the issue as well. But without further ado, I want to get through the team stats a little bit, and we'll break through on the difference as well. Look, average point score is 81.9 to 65.4. So we score more than what Richmond do, which is great, which suits us a little bit more. 80.7 compared to 106.6. This is where we can definitely put a lot of pressure on Richmond a lot more, and definitely that's something that they are very leaky. Like, they're very slow in their ball movement. They're not very great themselves. When they can play faster, they can play faster, but when they're very slow, it's definitely a problem for sure. Also, the average age is 25 to 23, so they're a lot younger. Average games is 96 to 62, 189 centimetres a piece, 386 to 334 in disposals, 217 to 192 kicks, 169 to 142 handballs, 52 to 47 inside 50s as well. Disposal efficiency 74%, but we are better than them at goal efficiency, 22% from 12 goals and 52 inside 50s to 19% from 9 goals and 47 inside 50s. Free kicks 17 to 20, so we get less than them, so fuck you to the haters then with that. 25-22 in the hit out, so we're very good with that. Clearances, they're very evenly with that. 31 apiece. Centre clearances is 11 to 12, so they're very good at winning centre clearances, and stoppage clearances, that's our game, 21 to 19. So we really need to make sure that we start winning the clearances, especially the centre clearances, and we can get the ball going our way. 122 to 120 contested possessions, but they're very good at uncontested as well, so we need to make sure that we're a lot more competitive in that. 247 to 205. 66 to 67 turnovers, so we're very good with less turnovers as well. 68 to 61 intercepts as well. The power ratings is 4,444, is our best 22, and our predicted 22 is 4,664. Their best 22 is 3,938, and their predicted is 3,960 as well. We take a lot of marks than what they do, 103 marks to 86. So when they can play that build-up footy, that's when they're good at as well. 12 to 10 marks inside 50. Contest marks on a piece as well. Tackles 59 to 40, 58 to 49 as well. 12 to 10 tackles in the 450. 5 to 7 to bounces, so they like to take the game on a little bit more as well. 1% is 42 to 40 and 69 to 68 in the 1%ers as well. How do we beat Richmond? I think for me, we need to start beating them in the hit-outs and the clearances. That's where we're very good at. We need to start dominating against name curvers and as well as Lafaro, if he does his second ruck work, or whoever, Bolter who does the second ruck work as well. We definitely need to make sure that we play our brand football no matter what, and that way we can try and get moving as much as we possibly can. Just going to my top 5 for this week as well, because this is very important. Look, my top 5 for this week is our defence. Now, our defence really needs to stand up, the most importantly, every single week. We need to restrict Richmond a fair bit. And look, I know our defence was stand up really well, considering that who we've on what we're doing in our forward line and what Jordan DeGoey did, Nick Dacos did as well. Our pressure was really good, so we need to keep up with pressure for a lot longer. But also too, we need to make sure that we don't allow Richmond to kick. If we do kick the first 2 goals, that we don't let Richmond kick the first 3 goals or wherever that is. But also we don't allow Richmond to jump us from the start and then we have to come back. So Richmond are a very young team, but as we know, that here's an opportunity for us to really try and get into the game as much as we possibly can as well. Number 4 for this week, ladies and gentlemen, and this is pretty simple for me, is our midfield. Our midfield really needs to start getting the clearances with Ed Allen in there as well. We're very good at doing that as much as we possibly can, but we need to make sure that Nick Dacos, Gary, Brian McCreary's been a bit down as well, so he needs the big game this week. It's at the G. We know that Richmond don't wear clash jumpers, but having said that too, we need to make sure that we come out and really start off strong. Number 3 is our forward line. Look, our forward line really needs to stand up, but we need to take the most of our opportunities. We can't afford to miss very much easy set shots in front of goal as well. Considering that the form line, that we've got a much better form line than what they do. But we do know for a fact that we can play our brand of football regardless. And then pretty much is really the right way that we can go about it as well. Number 2, I know this one is probably most playing well for long enough. I want us to jump Richmond from the start. I want us to get 20, 30 points in front and really push on. I think this is the lead where if Richmond try to get some sort of momentum, that we need to bring it back and we need to have the opportunities to try and do something about it as much as we possibly can. But I think this does give Collingwood an opportunity to try and play our brand of football as much as we possibly can and getting into the game as early as possible, and then obviously push on that lead as well. So we need to come out from the start and keep it going as well. Can't afford to take Richmond lightly. No, Richmond aren't got the kits in, but now it's most importantly to start really playing well. Number 1 is game plan and tactics. Look, the ones that Richmond are very good at. We know that Mosrioli is very good at taking on the kicks as well. We know he's going to take the kicks on regardless. James Shaw's very good across half back. We know that for a fact. And then we obviously know that Prestia Ross as well. Then Curtis will try and win the hit as much as he possibly can. Their forward line may try and get on top of us. They might try and surprise us. But we need to make sure that we take them, the most of our opportunities as much as we can as well, and really try and look up on our opportunities. Now, our form guy in the last few weeks, we've had 2 wins, 2 losses, and a bye. Well, they only had the 1 win and then the 3 losses. The 1 win came up against Essendon and only won by 18 points. And then after that, they've had massive losses against Sydney, Brisbane as well, which they were very competitive against. Even North Melbourne wasn't prettiest game, but even it was an ugly game to watch, especially during the stream as well. Last time we met was around 2025. I was there for that. We won by 36 points. And then since then, we've had the wood over Richmond for a very long time, winning 5 of the past 5. Also true, round 2, 2020, we had the draw as well. That was actually 3 of the last 5. Sorry, I'm back. 4 of the last 5. So round 2, 2020, we had the draw, and then 2019, in the prelim final, we had the win, and then we also had we also had 2019 round 2, we had the win, obviously, and we lost it in later on the season. 2018 was the prelim final, which we won as well. So look, apart from that last time they beat us was round 8, 2022. But since then it's been all Collingwood. They haven't been us for a home game since would have been, if I were to be honest with you guys, it's been a while since then, and I think that's probably going to be, the hardest win. But Collingwood, with a team that's got more experience, it is interesting, and I'm very confident indeed that we can get the job done. But round 2019 was the last time that Richmond defeat Collingwood when it was a Collingwood's home game as well. So there you go, you learn something new every single week as well. Now, without further ado, guys, I want to go through the vision with you guys so you can see what's going on. Therefore, I'll do my tips, and then you guys can see what's going on. So as you can see, the 7 clearances, this is what you got to do to Richmond, is you got to start jumping in the end, but you can't allow them to win the clearances at all. And then Curvis will get the handball out, and therefore you get the mistakes galore. Both teams weren't really going hard at it, but when Richmond were able to spin it, which was unfortunate, free kick to North Melbourne as well. So one thing, because we've got more skills than them, it's a lot different. Set up really well here. Look, I like what North Melbourne trying to do. Trying to go backwards, which, again, Richmond's defence, it gives you a chance to really set up really well. You can go along. Richmond will give you a chance to sag off. They're not very, they've got a lot of kids in there, so you can't expect that. But then they'll kind of go backwards. So it's sort of game where you don't want to do that. But then as you can see, the turnover game comes, and then they kick over the top, and then all of a sudden, this is a go for Richmond. Luckily, that does go through. Okay, so the ball comes across here, and this is where we can go long, quick inside 50, gives us a chance to really mark and go as well. Boundary throwing right here, this is Trish and Sherry right there, wrestling, you get it down, watch this, George Ward. This is exactly what you need to do. Use your body, use your strength, and then that is a brilliant goal. That's exactly what Collingwood needs to do to keep themselves in the game as well. Harris Easter gets the footy. Probably not used to playing the MCG, and that's what shows you the experience, the difference between when Collingwood play in the MCG and Clarkie comes in, takes the mark. We don't have like Nick Larky type up forward, but we do have someone like a Jack Buller. We do have someone like, again, Lockie Schultz who can play that during the go, he can play that role. Also, the fact is we did have Jamie Allen before he got injured as well, Tim Embry. So we've got the full line there to really compete really well against the Richmonds. But having said that, great mark by Nick Larky, more experience. And most of your opportunities is great. You can't afford to kick inaccurately against Richmond, otherwise it can come back and bite us on the bum. Richmond get the footy here, they're going short. It's very risky, these low kicks, but then they're running an opportunity. Nick Forson So this is a kicking opportunity now. He wants to try and run. You want to try and make sure that when they're trying to play these kicks and go for these kicks, that you got the opportunity, you get out the back, but now you know you can force him under a lot of pressure, and here's a chance. And now the hit up option is not quite available. Chip it around. Now you can just look up, play on's a call, get that left foot kick in, and here's an opportunity for a mark. Perfect, well played. That's something that we can do as well. Alright, North Melbourne get the footy here. This is where the will and go thing that they want to do over the top. It works well for them. Get the handball out, and then here's an opportunity for North Melbourne to 6-8 for goal, and just to really kick that goal really well under a lot of pressure. That's something that Richmond or North Melbourne are very good at, and something that Collingwood will have to do as well. You hit that target, well done. But you know with Collingwood, Collingwood a much better team than North Melbourne. They're more experienced. They're always going to do really well in that situation. Fourth quarter, here's a ball up situation. This is where it's all changed for me during the game. North Melbourne get the kick out, which is fine. Get the handball, Wardlaw picks it up, has a shot at goal, kicks that goal, and really puts this game probably beyond doubt. But the fight from the top of this is where it gets interesting. Ball up situation, here we go. You jump up really high, but the one thing that Richmond did really well, they fight hard, win the clearances, get it forward. Well done Bolter here, used his body really well, and then he kicks the great banana goal. And that's what happens when you can use your body. Ball up, here we go again. Fell short, free kick to Richmond. They get the advantage, and a little chipping kick against Bolter. You can't afford to be 5 metres behind him. You have to stick on him like glue and hope that you can get a punch in there. So Daniel's getting kicking in here. So he goes in short. One thing that you want to do now is you can go, but you notice with 21 points in front, still time remaining, decides to go across. That's a poor kick. I would have preferred in that situation is to go. Keep going, attacking, knowing that here's a chance. But one thing you can't do is turn the footy over to a point where they could not take the opportunities at one point until North Melbourne finally did. So as I said, look, this is what happens. Ball and then kicks the sealer and definitely gets the win as well. But I want to show you the Brisbane game. Not going to show you all the game, just going to show you bits of the game because, yeah, I've got some things to do. So, as you can see, this is the centre bounce situation. Draper wins the tap, and then Richmond are able to get out of it superbly. That's something that we've got to be careful of. I know this is in Tassie. Now I would take Mark. I just want to show you a couple more. This is one thing that we got to do. Experienced team like Brisbane, like knowing that the 3 points in front, taking that kick on the corridor works really well. Getting the handball game. This is exactly what Collingwood must do. Get that kick inside 50, sets up really well, use your strength. If you don't quite mark it, bring the ball to ground and you set up and score an opportunity right here, and then that goes through for a goal. Something I cannot wait to see what happens, and a great goal coming up as well for Brisbane. Now for one last one. Boundary throwing here. His chance, ball comes out. this is one thing that Brisbane do really well, and then they get the goal here. Alright, so this is defensive transition as well. I'll just show you this very quickly. So Brisbane are very good at getting that ball out, and when they do, this is when they can run. But when Richmond can kick the 40 inside 50, it slips over, they take the mark as well, and which works in their favour. Okay, that will do. Collingwood by 40 points. I'm very confident we'll get the job done. Now for the team talks as we speak. Now, as we know, the teams are out, so without further ado, I want to get straight into the video as well. Now, ins are Scott Pendlebury, out is Mitch Cordiatis, who's been omitted. I'm very surprised with that. I thought maybe give him a week, maybe Pendles will come in for someone else. But now, let's go through the back line, and let's go through the midfield, and then the forward line, and then the interchange, and then the emergencies. So, in the back line, we got Perman, Howe, Frampton, Quainer, Houston, and Dacos. Look, I think with the way that this is, I think Frampton on Bolter, I think Howe will be on LeFou, and I think Perman may be on Elgar. I think that would be the only matchup. The midfield battle is Sidebottom, Long, and Steele. Darcy Cameron, Lipinski, Nick Dacos. Look, I still think that's a good midfield as well. I think it'll work out really well. The forward line is Bo McCreary, John Ngoe, Lockie Schultz, Dan McSay, Tim Embry, and Jack Buller. Great to see Jack Buller gets a chance to maintain it. I thought he may be the one, but he keeps his spot for this week as well and gets an opportunity to play, and hopefully does really, really well. Interchange is Pendlebury, Ed Allen, Jack Chris, Sam Swalding, and Harvey Harrison. And emergencies are Harry Dimatima, Mitch Cordiales, and Liam Puncher, who could come in case if Isaac Lane does not come up as well, which who knows, we'll find out. If there is any late changes, that would be the matchup that you probably think, and therefore Puncher may go on to LeFou, and then Perman may go on to Green. That may be the only option that could potentially do. Other than that, still think we'll win by 40 points, and I think that Richmond will try and fight back as much as they can, but I think we'll be too good and too strong to win by 40 points as well. Predictions, I think Nick Dacos will have 32 disposals, 6 marks, and a goal. I like Sam Swalding to have 20 disposals. I think second game he'll look great. He'll kick a goal. After that, be feeling a lot great as well. And Jordan Ngoe will kick 3 goals as well. I'm really feeling that he'll kick 3. Played really well. Chances are he'll have 20 disposals, 6 marks, and 3 goals. Hope you guys liked the video. Don't forget to drop a like, also drop a sub. Till next time, bye for now.